peaceful people struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
Wake up, the day is bright, time to feel the glow. Turn your dial for your vibe, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel.
News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wide in every way. LVEWIRE, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. LVEWIRE. Wake up, the day is bright, time to feel the flow. From your dial to LVEWIRE, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way, in every way. LVEWIRE, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. LVEWIRE hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, or toast. With Courdel Jones, we'll give you the most. LVEWIRE, we'll give you the way. Coming to the energy, the beat of the street, the show that connects. It's where people meet. We're wired to your world, we got the news. On LVEWIRE, there's nothing to lose. LVEWIRE, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. LVEWIRE, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. LiveWire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life your way. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. LiveWire hits you every hour. LiveWire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. It's your community, your voice, your power. LiveWire hits you every hour.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of LiveWire with yours truly, Courdel Jones. It is the 4th of November, 2024, and welcome to another episode of LiveWire. Morning to all the persons across the diaspora, morning to all the persons across the 10 administrative regions, special good morning to all the persons in the comment section already. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the continued support. I trust everybody had a wonderful, restful weekend. And you're ready and rearing to go. So this morning, a couple of things for us to discuss. Someone sent me a video on WhatsApp I wanted to share with you guys. So let's have a quick look at that and discuss some of the things in there, and then we'll move on to some of the other topics things happening around the country right about now. So first up, let's jump into this video here. I don't know the young man, but he had several points he wanted to make, and some of them I agree with. So let's have a quick look. Let's get into it.
Truly found ourselves between a rock and a hard place, because you see, our opposition that we are depending on to stand up and defend Guyanese people against the marginalization and the discrimination of the government, and to stand and defend Guyanese against the nepotism of the government, and to stand and defend Guyanese and Guyanese wealth against the mismanagement of the government. This same opposition are guilty of all of the same stuff.
So I want to pause it right there and just reiterate to persons that what he's saying is indeed true. That is the role of the opposition, to prevent things of this nature from happening. The good thing is, although they're not performing in their role, we see that the administration has taken a proactive approach in terms of ensuring that there is benefits to a wide cross section of Guyanese, especially across the racial divide. Guyanese across the economic divide have access to all the facilities. Take, for instance, using example, the hinterland are having access to facilities just as persons who are operating on the coastline. So that is the role of the opposition, what the young man is saying, to ensure that they hold the government's foot to the fire, to make sure that they are doing these things, right? And I said before on many programs that in any government, you will find some issues, but I want you to continue listening to this young man, right? And when you look at what he's saying, and I'm glad that somebody else is saying it and it's not me, because sometimes I think I'm the only person, well, not that I'm the only person, but I've been hammering it in your ear over and over again, and you guys are getting a little fed up of it. So now you can hear it from somebody else's point of view. So his opening speaks to what the opposition should actually be doing in terms of their role as an opposition, right? So thankfully, we have a government that has been ensuring that all the races feel included, ensuring that all the races have equal opportunity and all the classes of citizens have equal opportunity. So, what he was saying in the beginning is right. That is the initial role of the opposition. But what we have is just a group of people that oppose things for opposing sake. It's not in any way, shape, or form done with any strategy or with the thought of the Guyanese people in mind, doing things better for them. It's not done from that standpoint at all. So let's continue listening to this guy.
Marginalizing Guyanese. When the Honorable David Arthur Granger would have ascended to the seat of government and become the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, one of his first moves as president would have been to raise the salary of the rich men in this country.
So you hear what the guy is saying. So he's talking about the 50% in increase in salary for ministers and those sorts of people. Indeed, that was one of the first things that they did, the Granger administration, right? And you have people like Aubrey Norton and Nigel Hughes and representatives of those two creatures of those two entities, the PNC and the AFC, creatures from these two organizations, always talking and lobbying about salary increases and what should be done and how it should be done and the amount and all that nonsense. The former Minister of State said clearly, I have no apologies to give to a soul. So y'all could try that. You understand? That is how they felt about how the Guyanese people would feel about their salary increase against what is given to the regular man.
Ministers, while leaving the people that were working for indentureship salaries, while leaving the public service that would have been working for indentureship salaries, one of the lowest salaries in South America, to work for the same money. So one of the first move of them, which was a marginalized move, to increase the salary of the rich men 50% with the big fat allowance and the big fat salaries, and leaving the small man to struggle.
So, again, as I normally say to you, you have a case where the things that the PNC or the AFC or APNU decides to accuse the PPP of, or the current government of, it is established in their track record, not something that they used to do. So, as the young man said, the increase that they gave themselves marginalized certain sections of the population, right? And these weren't people who were poor that got elected to office to represent. These are wealthy lawyers and doctors and economists and all sorts of fancy things, right? All sorts of fancy things.
But one of the other moves of the government would have been to increase many of the taxes. Leave our salaries the same, but then raise the taxes, crippling the small man even further.
I said it here over and over. 200 plus taxes on the Guyanese people, increasing the University of Guyana fees, right? Increasing the land rental fees. So it was pressure on the Guyanese population during this period due to the opposition. That is how they managed the Guyanese economy. Didn't create avenues for people to generate income, didn't create any disposable income for people, added taxes and fees like the head and good, internet, water for old age pensioners and stuff, taxes. I think IT supplies and those kinds of things, the taxes were put on them. They had a bunch of zero rated items in relation to VAT that that were in place at the end of the Ramutar administration. They put tax on those things. Baby supplies and certain things, they put tax on these things. Right?
That was very unconscionable by the APNU AFC, and increase many of the taxes. Leave our salaries the same, but then raise the taxes, crippling the small man even further. that was very unconscionable by the new AFC and the opposition, raising those taxes on people that were already paid small salaries. That was marginalization. The standing government would have the opposition, the AFC, APNU AFC, would have also been accused of misappropriating funds.
Oh my goodness, what? Really? This young man got a lot of information. That is why I decided I wanted to share this video with you. Don't hear it from me, hear it from somebody else. And the good thing about it in this instance is somebody who looks like me, because if this came from an Indian person, this wouldn't have been credible in the eyes of certain people. But guess what? This guy here soon will be labeled as a soup drinker or a house slave for his points that he's making. Mind you, he's not making points willy nilly or just sprouting stuff out his mouth and in backing it up with some sort of track record or evidence to what he's saying. So he spoke of marginalization. He gave an example of where the public service salary was and what the previous administration did in terms of increasing the salary and increasing salaries for certain people at certain levels. Right? So he's giving you an example.
That 18 or 20 million dollar US signing bonus given to them, the opposition, the AFC, APNU AFC, would have also been accused of misappropriating.
So again, here we have another thing that the PNC AFC often lament about the government: misappropriation of funds, these kinds of things. So the guy moves on to another topic, and guess what? He gives you an example. He doesn't just throw it out in the air there like Nigel Hughes or a Aubrey Norton. He doesn't do that. He gives you an example of what he's talking about.
In funds, that 18 or 20 million dollar US signing bonus given to them when they were in office by the Exxon Mobil and the Oil Giants. It has been said and thrown around left, right, and center by many parties, voters, and affiliates of the standing government that they would have mismanaged and misappropriated that money. And up until today, 4 years later, there has not been a clear indication that the APNU AFC did not misappropriate that fund.
You hear what the man said? Up to now, you can't get no indication other than the stupidest Raphael Trackman writing some book that I refuse to take a glance at the cover at, not even a glance at the cover, and it tell me about the book. The former finance minister tell me, well, he tell me several things. One, he didn't know. Secondly, it was a gift, right? And then I think another time he said it get used. Well, and it said get used to go CCJ. And then a video with Granger resurfaced with him saying something about national security and this stupidness and the stupidness. The $18 million is national security. Just only they could know about it. And mind you, they ain't said to you who liars the pay, who work the do for this 18 million US. You just went to this legal case according to them. Right? It just went to this legal case according to them. And we all know about the big fancy weddings that happened in the Caribbean islands and stuff. You know, during that period around when the 18 million they pay. I hope that marriage lasts, because if it didn't last and y'all had the big lavish wedding with the Guyanese people money, y'all better make sure it lasts. Cause a lot of us didn't get to come and eat and drink and be merry at that wedding. So we get value for money. So we looking for value for money in terms of y'all making that relationship last. If the relationship can last, you need to refund us back our money. You need to refund us back our money. Of Grenada or someplace the wedding happened. When people was looking much more rosy, they're looking treacherous now. You know, like the fallen hard times, very deflated, a shell of their former self. You understand? I mean, if you look at the wedding day pictures and you look at them, no, Jesus Christ, you shouldn't have married. If there's what marriage going to do to you, brother. You understand? And more so that the Guyanese people ain't get to enjoy nothing from the wedding. So, right about now, sir, I'm saying all you have in terms of allowing the Guyanese people to forgive or to pretend to forget what happened with the 18 million US is longevity of the relationship. Y'all need to make it work because Guyanese people have to spend their money. Right? So let me get back to this gentleman here as he explains to us some of the treachery of the opposition.
We have not seen any partisan APNU AFC, any minister of the APNU AFC come out and clearly state with facts, data, statistics, and article how that money would have been spent and why this rhetoric is misguided and misinformed.
And that's facts. Every time somebody from the coalition government decides to talk about the 18 million US, it is a stumbling, bumbling, foolish story. Right? It's a stumbling, bumbling, foolish story. So the first one was, I don't know nothing about it. The man who's the finance minister of the country. And just the other day, I heard Winston Jordan, oh, who's supposed to sign in Guyanese money and who not signing the money and who's a junior minister and who's this and who's that. You are a full-fledged senior minister. A big, oh gosh, the man has looked like Dudley Do-Right sometimes. Or Forrest Gump, how he operates. Former Minister Jordan. You understand? The man operates like he ain't all together there. So could you imagine the man who is the big-time finance minister, the substantive finance minister during his time, who lamenting, Ashley Singh is a junior minister within office of the presidency, and who he's not even signing the money, and he don't know this and he don't know that. You didn't know nothing but the 18 million US. As the finance minister, you ain't know nothing about it. So you cabinet didn't respect you enough as the man in charge of finance, or like they didn't know you weren't all together there. You understand? They didn't even want to keep you informed about what's going on in the country that you in charge of managing the finances for. When they did tell you, they didn't even give you a detailed explanation, Winston Jordan. That's how lame you are, sir. They didn't even give you a detailed explanation. They said to you, it's a gift. You don't study it. It's a gift. You don't speed. You don't worry where we put it. It's a gift. You understand? So this is the guy who rowing about Dr. Ashley Singh, who is integrally involved in all the aspects of financial management in this country, and as of the other day, took on more in terms of the role of public service. And a banner like Winston Jordan, who has failed this country miserably over the coalition period. Winston Jordan didn't organize finances for infrastructure. He didn't organize finances for housing. He didn't organize finances for health or to develop or increase the capacities in these sectors. Education. What Winston Jordan was doing as a finance minister, planning what, doing what? For who? Other than not knowing what's going on when money paying out. That was Winston Jordan's claim to fame, being aloof and not knowing what is going on. I guess that's why they made him the finance minister, because they know Hey, this man in he ain't got too much sense. He went to a lot of schools and stuff, but you remember I said on this program, common sense is not so common. So it's instead of him being able to operate in a manner that would allow for him to have a sensible knowledge of the country's finances and what's going on with it. Let me left Winston alone. Look like we continue this video.
We've not yet seen that. So the
No, we
same
haven't.
misappropriation and mismanagement of
Same
states
thing.
fund, which is supposed to help and assist Guyanese.
Same thing. I said it all over and over. Everything that the opposition accuses the PPP of, they are things that the opposition have done or are doing. They're just trying to transfer it over onto the PPP. So marginalization and discrimination, opposition activities, but they just want to transfer it over onto the PPP. Mismanagement of the government resources, opposition activity, but they just want to transfer it over to the PPP.
Needs to have a better quality of life. The same mismanagement, the opposition that we are now depending on, was guilty of allegedly. And then when you look at all of that, coupled with the fact that they would have been evading the taxes that they owe to the city of
A lovely point by this gentleman. I must say, this was one of the points I was so happy that he referenced. You understand? I am so happy that he referenced. Listen, despite all the dancing around that you're seeing, all the Jim Cock bring Ram Goat stories that you're hearing, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, the PNC owes $6.7 billion in taxes and it's growing. It's growing, currently growing, right? They owe these taxes, whether it's in Malik name, PNC name, Aubrey name, Granger name, whoever name it in. The property that we're talking about, is at the head of Sapphire, and it is called Congress Place. What it in PNCR name, Malik Enterprise Inc. Incorporated, whatever name, George Norton, Aubrey Norton, David Granger, Joseph Harmon, whoever name it in, it is the PNC's Congress Place we're talking about. The PNC's Congress Place. I noticed, excuse me, I noticed the mayor likes to talk about the government owing taxes and this and that. But I'm saying to you, Mr. Mayor, when you're doing this calculation, take into consideration your responsibilities in the capital city. Take into consideration the fact that the government has had, because of your inability and the mismanagement of the PNC ran City Hall over the decades, would have had to step in where the local authority, City Hall, is supposed to be handling roads and garbage and pits and drainage and that kind of thing. They have stepped in. Now, this is at what cost? What is the cost to the government to take up your responsibility in terms of what you are required to do for the citizens of the capital city? So you're saying that the government owes City Hall, but what is the monetary value of all the responsibilities that the government has had to assist City Hall with? And when you look at that, what let me say the government owe $6 billion, just like the PNC. What is the cost of all the roads, the drainage works, and all the things the government is doing in the capital city that was your responsibility, right? Do you think there should be some sort of deduction in terms of, since you ain't doing it and to get it done would have to cost some sort of money? Is it the fact that you're actually providing the required services to these government buildings? Is there garbage collection from the city to these government buildings? Is there um proper drainage and that kind of thing? Are you looking after the parapets outside of these facilities? Are you taking care of your role and responsibility as the municipality for the capital city, or the council for the capital city? Now, when you flip it on the other side with the PNC, is it the same? Could we say it's the same thing in terms of, okay, they did so much work in the capital city to help make things better? Did we see a massive transformation in the operations of City Hall during the time where the party that runs City Hall was still in charge of City Hall and also in charge of the executive branch of the government? Did City Hall receive all the support it needed? Did the Granger administration pay off the debt that the government would have owed City Hall at that time? No. No. Because in the eyes of the Granger administration, City Hall is doing stupidness even then. And in the cases where City Hall was making a genuine effort to make things better, the executive just didn't care. They didn't have time with their own councillors, their own PNC councillors. They didn't have time with. So could you imagine all the work that Tricia Richards and Patricia Chase Green have gotten done under the PPP as PPP activists and councillors? They couldn't get done during the Granger administration as councillors there. So all the roads that you see in East and West Rumville that are done and in very, very good condition, you would probably think, yeah, man, this is Annette area, So Annette would make sure that Tricia Richards, while she was a PNC councillor, would have had the support to make her area better so that the people could support them. But no, nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. They don't think of work like that.
Georgetown. It has accumulated to now $6.7 billion. Even though they raised our taxes, they would have been evading taxes. Now they owe $6.7 billion. They are now trying to negotiate for a lower tax rate. So they want special treatment. The APNU AFC wants special treatment in relation to taxes after they increase the taxes on the Guyanese people. I'm telling you this, Guyanese brothers and sisters, because I want to see in the mindset of the people that continue to use our emotion against us, use our...
And I see that over and over. What they do is try to play at the emotions of a certain group of Guyanese. Load your head with nonsense and hope you get so emotionally involved that sense goes out the window, that you ain't even thinking clearly no more. You just hearing the foolishness that they're telling you. And the caption on this video is so important. Is the opposition really fit to run our country? Or they should supposed to be there in a rush for power? And indeed, it clearly seems like it's a rush for power. We would have seen 2015 to 2020 what their capabilities are, right? It is amazing. And it is amazing how compartmentalized Nigel Hughes is. So 2015 to 2020, remember he said, I was not around, although every night he lying down next to a government minister and sleep. Offered no advice in terms of conflict of interest and integrity and those kinds of things. offered her no advice to take to the cabinet to tell, look, y'all doing stupidness, change this, change the, do this better, do this better. Offered no advice about biometrics and all this other stuff that he trying to get implemented now. And again, I'm saying you get zero effort from these guys when they are in a position of power. Zero effort. All the things that they are lobbying to change and to do this, and the government must do this and the government must do that. Why y'all didn't do it? Why didn't you do it? Or at least start the process to get it to a point of no return. You understand? Oh my gosh.
And our dysfunction and our shortcomings and our worries against us. Because the same men that are asking for us to put them back in power would have been the men that made Guyanese endure some of the toughest times back in 2015, 2020. The police can attest to this. When they would have been.
And if you notice, despite the writing on the bottom of the screen, the guy includes clips of newspaper articles and different things to back up what he's saying. See, he's not just running his mouth for running his mouth's sake. Right? Listen to this section where he discusses the Guyana police force. Right? And these are the same opposition people who are pretending they have an interest in law and order, and oh, the Guyana police force is so corrupt, and what is going on, and Brutus, oh my God, Brutus. These same people
relegated to foot soldiers and bicycle police, where they're asking for us to put them back in power, would have been the men that made Guyanese endure some of the toughest times back in 2015, 2020. The police can attest to this. When they would have been relegated to foot soldiers and bicycle police, where with buttons and whistles, they can attest to it. And then,
y'all remember this thing? You used to have them police banner in some short pants on some bicycle riding around the place, looking like they're from primary school. It's primary school police. They didn't graduate to secondary school police in yet. With them bicycles, all them must be broke up. Because probably a set of cheap bicycles they buy that you can't even, they didn't even last no time. You remember Kemraj Ramjatan planned for securing this country was horses and dogs. Horses and dogs, y'all forget? Horses and dogs.
No, in 2024, when the campaign is supposed to be going on, when there's supposed to be rigorous campaigning, consistent campaigning on different media platforms, the opposition seems to be broke. They don't seem to have.
Here he but seems, brother the Brock, please don't get it twisted. They don't have any money. Where do you get the money from? Where do you get the money from? Well, them couple bingo that they hosted. Right? Where do you get the money from? We already hear how the PNC manages money. It's a full blank check affair. It's a full blank check affair. I see Aubrey North, not I see Aubrey North, not Sweet Pine Saturday. So I passing through Orange Walk, minding my business, and Bob run into a friend. So I sit down in his car talking to him, gaffing, and I see this Land Cruiser pull across. And I said, man, I didn't pay attention because I don't know his license plate. But it spun and then it came back around the corner and parked. And Bob, there's Aubrey North. And this was from what time by? It was about minutes to 12. I mean, if he went for lunch or to start beating himself early or what, but he was there.
The money to campaign the way they need to. They don't seem to have the money to have the coverage that they need to. And it makes me wonder, this has to be mismanagement at its finest. Because the platform has been laid for the party to make money and have an account. And being as they have intelligent men in there, they have financial gurus in there, they're supposed to be able to manage said account. Because remember, the salary was raised 50%, they have big allowances. Apart from that, this alleged misappropriation of this 18 to 20 million US dollars, they've not been clear indication.
Me buy is beer facts me buy spitting here, no. This man in lie, but nothing yet. This man in lie, but nothing yet.
They've not been clear indication that there wasn't mismanagement. And until that happens, the opposition will forever be seen as guilty. But it makes me wonder, if they cannot manage their party, if they cannot make sure that they put money up to do their job, which is to campaign as opposition, because the government seems to be working harder than the opposition.
What? What he just said? Y'all hear what he just said? It's a hard-working government we got. We got that get Jackie jacket. If we're sharing out jackets, Jack has to get one. Jack has to get. Whether we want to say Jack got to get one. That's all I'm saying. Jack got to get a jacket as well.
They cannot manage their party. If they cannot
listen to what he's saying.
Put money
listen
up
to him.
Do their job, which is the campaign.
Imagine the main purpose of a political party is campaigning, electioneering, that kind of thing. And they ain't even have money for that. They ain't have money to host Congress the other day. Critic the write a check to get them, look, y'all host the Congress and everything on it. You remember Critic write the check and had the check out there, photo, everything ready to get them? I think it was $3 million or somewhere y'all hold your congressman. Could you imagine a political party who has been in existence from the beginning of Guyana's officialness? Bruh. And in some cases, like Brock like that. Terrible.
As opposition, because the government seems to be working harder than the opposition. The government are the champions. Barjagyo is the champion of the earth, and he works harder than the opposition.
And that's all the time. Since he was president, when he come out of office, when he was finance minister, and now as general secretary and vice president of Guyana, general secretary of the People's Progressive Party, civic political party, and the vice president of Guyana, working very hard. And if I feel like if the opposition had half of a Jack deal in there, somebody that was half of a Jack deal, they'd make more sense. But under the leadership of people like Aubrey Norton, where this place going? You understand? Where's the party going?
What kind of a fighter loses his gold medal? What kind of an athlete loses gold medal? What kind of a fighter loses their belt and allow the person that beat them to work harder than them? Someone that doesn't really want to win.
Yeah.
Because how can you raise your salary, raise the taxes, collect our tax dollars, billions of tax dollars, can't give account for 18 to 20 million US dollars, clear data, facts, statistics, and articles, but yet still the party seems to not have enough money to campaign for the Guyanese people. So how can we trust the opposition then to run our country, this billion-dollar baby that is called Guyana? That every global tycoon that has billions of dollars want to rush to our country to invest. How can we depend on our opposition to actually have the...
We can't, sir. We can't. And Guyanese have better sense than that. They got a few that will give their support to the group, despite their horrible record, their horrible track record. They will still give the support to them. But the general Guyanese public already know what they're dealing with.
Financial savvy to stand their grounds and make sure that we get fair deals, fair royalties, better than the PPP, when the lopsided fiscal deal would have been signed under them.
And that is my blasted point. That is my point. All this talk about oil deal from the opposition, I don't care whether it's APNU, AFC. all of them, because they was together, they divorced now, or they got a friends with benefit relationship, or whatever they're calling it now, right? Whatever they're calling it now, they should be the last persons to speak anything on the lopsided oil deal. This was created by you. The mere fact that Raphael Trotman could present his face to tell the Guyanese public he's willing to work with the government to renegotiate contract. Sirs, you give the shitty contract in the first place. If you had sense in the beginning, what sense you got now? What we gonna do with you? What advice you could give people when you sit down and sign the bullshit agreement in the first place? Come on, brother. You serious? You signed the agreement under your party. And when you sign it, during the period, do nothing to renegotiate or nothing. Left it. Mind you, they can talk about back in the day when there was no oil discovery. So think about it, right? This is the country of Cordelia. And Cordelia never used to produce microphones before. And somebody come to Cordelia, this country, and says, here, we think they might got microphones here, and we want to look for them. If we find them, we can give you 50% of the profit and 2% royalties if we find nothing. We know if we're going to find nothing. You understand? And that was that gives you an idea of the arrangement that happened decades ago in relation to oil and gas in Guyana. There was no discovery. At the time when the Area C was done by the Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman, there were proven reserves in Guyana. So look at it again. A company comes to Cordelia, the country of Cordelia, right? They ain't looking for microphones anymore. They find them. They know that they got 60 billion microphones under the ground in Cordelia, right? So the people who run in Cordelia now say, well, or should have said, well, hey, this is not really an exploration thing. We know what they're there. We know what they're there. So it's not really a risk for you. You will receive profits, definitely. Why would you make the same or keep the same arrangement that you had when you didn't have anything? Now that you have everything that the people want, why not create a better deal for yourself? How stupid do you have to be to accept a deal or a payment for when you had nothing, the same amount for when you have something? You're stupid. Think about it. How that making sense? I am collecting payment, the same payment for this cup, right? When it's empty. You're paying me one price for this cup when it's empty. Now, on the other hand, I give you another cup that is full. I put something in the cup now. And you are paying me the same price that you pay me for the empty cup. Be stupid. Be stupid. You're giving me the same money for the empty cup as for a full cup with the cup. I gotta be stupid. Got to be. I mean, hey, some of these things, you don't need rocket science or advanced economics or trigonometry or anything to figure out. It's common sense. How am I giving you something at the same value when it was not deemed valuable? So we didn't know we had oil back then. So that was the arrangement. If you find it, yeah, we can take this. Because we know, we might go there and find nothing. You accept the same arrangement when you go there and you actually find billions or millions of barrels of oil. Come on, get out of here.
So we have truly found ourselves between a rock and a hard place, Guyanese brothers and sisters, and a change of government isn't going to help it. We clearly have to choose the lesser of two evils. And if you assess the movements of the People's Progressive Party Civic, the APNU AFC would have taken back the children cash grant, allegedly. The People's Progressive Party Civic put it back.
But this is not allegedly, brother. That's facts. They took the 10,000 away from the children. There's no allegation there. That is facts.
And they put more money into it.
Facts as well. The PPP brought it back and increased it. Facts.
We never received a grant under the APNU AFC.
Facts. Facts.
The PPP are giving out $100,000 one-off cash grant to each and every Guyanese
Facts.
that is at least 18 years old by the 1st of January 2024.
Well, 2025. I don't know where he get 2024 from. And also, it is stated that the entire process should take 5 months. So that will take you beyond January 1st, 2025. At least by then, the process will have started and the distribution would be ongoing. You understand? So he make a little mistake with the year there.
The People's Progressive Party Civic would have raised the taxing threshold. So the taxes now, money less than $100,000 in tax.
Facts. Facts. More disposable income. The income tax threshold has been risen.
I'm saying the standing government needs to raise that minimum wage because that $300.
And they have committed to do so over time. But what else have they done? The same cash grant that you're talking about for the youths, that is money that the parents would have take out the salary, that they don't have to take out the salary anymore. So there's 45,000, which most likely will go to 50,000 next year, out of their salary. We also have to take into consideration is it 10 or 20,000? One out of the two that you're getting off your salary per child. Right? One of the parents. So how much more money going into the pockets of Guyanese parents at the end of the year or at the end of the day? Right? 50,000, 45, currently 45,000 for the students. The amount of money that will come off of your salary for each child. The fact that these children will now enter a tertiary education arena where they don't have to pay for anything. You understand? That's billions of dollars in benefits.
And cut it. And I am truly confident that it will happen in time. All it takes, People's Progressive Party Civic would raise the taxing threshold. So the taxes now, money less than $100,000 in tax. I'm saying the standing government needs to raise that minimum wage because that $300 can't cut it. And I am truly confident that it will happen in time. All it takes is for the Guyanese people to continue to push and ask for better. But this opposition, these days I have questions about the opposition as I assess them and put them under the microscope. With all the work that I've been doing on my platform, I've reached out to members from the opposition consistently and none of them embraced me.
Afro Guyanese talking to you here, you know. Afro Guyanese. So he has reached out to the party that claimed to love Afro Guyanese so much. And none of them embrace him. He said it himself, not me.
So if they haven't embraced me, what make Guyanese people think they're going to embrace you? So these are some of the questions I have. So I'm asking you Guyanese brothers and sisters, between the APNU AFC and the People's Progressive Party Civic, which is the most corrupt party? And which of the two parties, the two evils, do you think are doing a better job of defending Guyanese people's wealth, Guyanese people's future, and Guyanese people's livelihood? And who would you like to see ascend to the seat of governance in the election come 2025? This is an Eternity Enterprise.
So that's the big question for today. Leave your answer in the comments below. Who you think is doing better, and who is your choice for elections come 2025. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Please, please share your thoughts down there. Guys, we're out of time for today. Don't forget, this Wednesday, November 6th, we'll be having Behind the Agenda, our second episode, with myself and Joel Bagwedin, where Joel will be offering his, what kind of commentary I should say? His analysis of what has been going on across the sectors here in Guyana, and breaking down some of the plans and the policies of the current administration and how it is intended to benefit Guyanese. See you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in on Wednesday for Behind the Agenda with myself and Joel Bagwedin. Thank you for joining me on this program. Y'all continue to be good Guyanese. And as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.